Welcome back to No Fall Weddings, Week 6 edition. Your boy's a little tired. He decided to go see a movie at 11:35 last night. Didn't get home till 3:30, but nothing stops the college football train. Let's get into it. Got to start off with Miami and Florida State. The U, man. I know that score looks close, 28-22 final, but Miami dominated that game. Castellanos and Florida State go down in the first drive, look really good. It settled for 3 points, but I'm like, okay. But they look fast. They could get to the edges, and that's the one issue Miami has had with the running game is containing outside runs. And Florida State looked like, hey, they're going to hang tonight. A couple costly turnovers on Florida State's part, and Miami just took full advantage. This freshman they got, Tony, the little number 10, man, does he look like Tyreek Hill or what? It's just been so long. I'm not used to seeing Miami with the number 2 next to it, dominating opponents. A kid Bain on the defensive line is a menace. Legit NFL players. I guess that's what I'm struggling. I think of the early 2000s Miami just full of NFL talent. And I don't think this team has that, but they are big on the offensive line. They can just smash you with the running game, and then Carson Beck is still pretty good and can go over the top. Now, again, they should have won this game by 35, and there's the Mario Cristobal effect. It's never over when he's your head coach. They just got to learn to finish games off because that's what he does. He finds a way to lose games he shouldn't, whether it's against bad teams, good teams. His coaching mentality, it just goes out the window when they get up double digits. And if they play like that against a better team without turnovers, it's going to cost them. But right now, Miami is clearly the head of the ACC, and they're going to finally play for an ACC championship game. They never have. If you watched last week's episode, I told you that there weren't many good matchups this week, but that means, hey, here come the upsets. Now, I won't say there were many upsets yesterday, but there was a major one, and we all reveled in it. Penn State goes out to UCLA, Pasadena, the Rose Bowl. I think there were only 48 fans there, but they witnessed their 0-4 Bruins beat Penn State. This is an abomination. This is getting bad for James Franklin. Listen, I read it was great. Yeah, he can't beat the good teams, and everyone was ragging on him all week about how he can't beat a top 5, top 6 team. So to shut the haters up, he goes and loses to a horrible team. Again, UCLA was 0-4. Had no life. I think they were up 27-7 at halftime. So they were smoking them. Now Penn State, yeah, made a decent run, had a chance. 4th down and 2. Man, so reminiscent of when they played Ohio State in 2019. And they also had a 4th and 2 just outside of field goal range. And they ran it right into Chase Young's stomach. And that's exactly what happened on their 4th and 2. Drew Aller, they do a read option for whatever reason. You have supposedly this next great NFL quarterback, and you run a read option, and he keeps it and loses 5 yards. I'm always wary about firing college football coaches who are consistently in the top 10, like Penn State is. But I'm also the one that says they're overrated every preseason because they can't beat the good teams. So now you follow a whiteout home loss to Oregon by losing to an 0-4 team and giving up 42 points. There's still a lot of season left. They can still go to Ohio State and pull off a huge shocker, but it's not looking good. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm going to get on my soapbox a little bit for this. Trying to figure out who is good based on who the top teams have played is pointless. You can look at all the top teams right now and look at their schedule, and there's question marks everywhere. Is Ohio State good? Well, they had the Texas win, but now Texas has lost to Florida. Is Miami good? Well, they just went to Florida State and beat them, but Florida State just lost to Virginia last week. Is Oregon good? They just went into the whiteout and beat Penn State, but then Penn State loses to UCLA. You can do this with all the teams and who they've played, who they've beaten, but they've lost to them. But is this team any good? Like, you have to trust what you're watching. Is this defense good? Is this coaching good? Is the quarterback good? Is the offensive line good? And you have to go from there. And that's precisely why I think Ohio State, Miami, and Oregon are a notch above everybody else right now. It's not because of who they played or who they've beaten. It's just because they look like the best teams. And that's all you can base it off right now. Let's do some quick shots around the country. Vanderbilt, man, they hung with Bama. trying to go for that second straight upset against them, trying to go 6-0 for the first time since like the 40s. They had a good start, 7-0. They tie it 14-14, but Bama just kind of wore them down most of the game. I think they had almost 30 more plays than Vanderbilt. So by the fourth quarter, they were just running for 5-6 yards a gash. Shout out to the nerds of the SEC. They hung with them. Can we officially say that Arch Manning is the most overrated prospect in the history of college football? I know I don't want to be a hater, but I can't help it. When you flex on a kid from Sam Houston State after you got embarrassed against Ohio State, you haven't beaten a Power 4 team yet, and then you go into Florida and you look like a JV quarterback. The funniest part was the game was imbalanced at the end. He had to come out because his helmet got ripped off. So he had to miss a play. And I believe it was like 3rd and 15. And their backup comes in and throws an absolute dart for a first down. Then they bring Arch back in and he takes 2 sacks with no timeouts. He's gun shy. He's got bad mechanics, doesn't have a strong arm. He's just not a good quarterback. All the Quinn Ewers haters out there are pretty damn quiet. The Bill Belichick experience is a colossal failure. Down 35-3 against Clemson yesterday at halftime at home. I don't know if I take pride in it because I'm a bigger college football fan than an NFL fan, but to think that he could just waltz in, go to a C-level school, and because I got 6 Super Bowl rings with Tom Brady, that I could just, recruit right away, transfer portal, and dominate. Nope. This is terrible. And it's a joke with his girlfriend. They're getting obliterated. And it's starting to affect his resume. I'm sorry. It just is. If you're a coach, we have to count everything, including that first stop in Cleveland where you weren't very good. Then you got the 6 Super Bowl rings. Can't take them away from you. But now you're still coaching, right? And this affects your resume. And it might hurt you in the GOAT case. On some personal updates, Ohio State, man, they're starting to remind me of the best years of Nick Saban's Alabama teams, where they're not flashy. We're not putting up 70 points a week like we used to, but we are just taking every team to the woodshed based on coaching, analytics, scheme, and obviously top tier talent, NFL talent, but they're all playing their role. No one is outshining anybody. The defense is actually a lot of no names outside of Caleb Downs, and they're letting up 3 points a game. The offense has the spectacular wide receivers, but in comes a freshman named Bo Jackson, no relation, and he's taken the starting job. And I mean, Julian Sain is just getting better and better. He's not spectacular. He's got a great deep ball, but he's also thrown to NFL wide receivers. But he's just in straight command of this offense, leading the entire country in completion percentage. At this point, Ohio State can only beat themselves. I'm not saying they're going to go undefeated. I'm not saying they can't lose to Oregon or anybody in the college football playoff, but they are the most prepared and the most steady and the most talented team in the country right now. And my Fighting Irish and Notre Dame continue to rack up some wins after that 0-2 start. I'm telling you, if they went out, they're not keeping Notre Dame out of the college football playoff. I can hear the cries now, but the way, again, CJ Carr is playing offense, they got the 2 best running backs in college football. The defense is getting a little better, a little better. Speaking of the running backs, Jadarian Price is today's play of the day.
And Jadarian Price is still on his feet. Still going. One guy to beat, and he takes him out. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
But my one issue with Notre Dame, growing up as a fan, those green jerseys meant something. I remember I was 15, and we were about to play number 1 USC, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, on like a 30-game winning streak. And I remember rumblings of, oh, are they going to bring out the green jerseys? Like, it was kind of like it would be a surprise. And out of the tunnel, there they are. It's like, that's when they're meant to wear the green jerseys. When a number 1, number 2, number 3 team in the country is coming in and we are severe underdogs. It's supposed to be special. And them wearing these green jerseys once a year, it's just ruining that effect. Boise State requires green jerseys. This is where the money muddies up college football. They got to sell these green jerseys, right? So every year they're going to be a little different. It sucks. Yeah, it was admittedly a weak slate this weekend, but not for next weekend. Week 7. Looking ahead, we got Ohio State at Illinois, Big Ten kickoff, of course. Indiana at Oregon, top 10 matchup. Can Indiana hang with Oregon out there? Alabama at Missouri. Just found out Missouri's ranked. Don't know why. We'll see. Florida coming off their win against Texas, going to Texas A&M. Can they sweep the Texas back-to-back? And then Woso, it's time. The Red River rivalry. Try saying that 5 times fast. You played nobody yesterday, so I can't give you any credit, but I hope that quarterback's ready because I'm off. Thank you for watching No Fall Weddings. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And highly recommend going to see One Battle After Another, one of the best movies made in the last 10 years. I'm going to go take a nap.